a longer session.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty sore today.
Okay, okay. Did you did you um did you went to the form and wrote down the soreness?
Sorry, what?
Did you go to the form and write down the number of times that you've been training and how is food going on or not yet?
Oh, no, not yet. I haven't really been keeping track of it.
So you have to do something about that. Okay.
You sent me that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
I'll do it right away. I'll do it. I do want to go through the fall the thing that is killing a lot of people. Um, and then we'll start with that. Does that work, Maria?
Yeah, that works.
Cool. First of all, I need to be able to share.
I might not have a lot of time because I'm on my work break, but
Oh,
I'll
okay, okay. No
I'll be
worries.
here for a few minutes.
Okay, okay. Um, Let me share these. Hopefully, oh, no. Um, Probably what we could do, Maria, is do since you cannot be here for the whole time, we can do your check-in first. I think
Okay.
that's probably the best way to start. And then I'll take it from there in terms of providing the content and then understanding, how falls work. Because we also have this recorded later if you want to share with someone from your family and or someone that you know that needs to learn how to fall. Uh,
Yeah, I'll share because I have family members in healthcare too, so they care about this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And the numbers are really staggering. But okay, so starting with Maria. Maria, how has been your training week? How do you feel? Besides
It's
sore, okay? Besides,
besides sore. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, even when I'm sore, it's a good thing because I know that I'm getting stronger. So I am sore in a good way.
okay, okay.
I
So
feel like I'm getting stronger.
yes, we were doing like that those arm drags yesterday, and the fact
Yeah.
that you're a tall person, I think that tall and strong, I think that helps. Um, how many times have you trained this week?
This week, so far I've been only once this week because I it's been really busy for me at work.
Hmm, hmm. Okay. Do you think today's Friday? Are you going to? Do you plan to? Today's Friday. Today is Thursday. uh,
Yeah, so today and tomorrow I can't come,
hmm.
but I was thinking I could maybe come on Sunday.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, okay. And are you planning to do the 8:15 or the 9 a.m. or both?
Oh, there's 8:15 and 9.
Yes.
Um, I'm not sure yet. Is the is the 8:15 a.m. like gonna be the outdoor one?
It depends on the
Outdoor
weather.
team?
Sure.
Okay.
Because the 9 a.m. it's ground and wrestling, and that one we cannot do outdoor, to be fair.
Mm.
So
I think, yeah, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm gonna try for the 8:15, but I'm not sure yet.
okay.
And it might be tricky because I have to come into work on Sunday too, but not a
Really?
specific time. I'm
Okay.
not sure what time.
Okay. So just come in, do one of the sessions. That is the worst thing is between the indecision to choose zero. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try my best to do one because otherwise I'll only have one session this week.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to do two, ideally.
Cool. That aligns with the objectives. That's good. So I
Yes.
also feel that you're getting stronger. We were doing. I was training with you, and then you moved partners. I think that is working well.
Mhm.
Um, One comment over there in terms of the technical side. We talked yesterday about knuckles, okay,
Yeah.
and you want to be able to punch with your knuckles. I think what you can do, this is just my recommendation. When you come in, you can come in like, either you can come in a bit earlier or stay a bit longer. But let's put a specific, like, not hand wraps, but I do have a couple of gloves that allows you to start feeling how it is to punch.
Hmm.
And I would like you to start on the on the bag on the big bags on the right or on the left, not on the center bag.
Not the middle one. Yeah, because the middle one is tougher, right?
Yes. The middle bag is really much more tough. Um, so yes, I would start with that bag. It's
Okay.
because it's just, Maria. The other one is very solid. So let's start with that one. Put the hand wraps. I'll give you a couple of rounds, and we'll work on proper hand technique. You know, think about that. We talked about this, but nevertheless, you want to think about making an arch. Okay, from here,
Hmm.
from the knuckle to the elbow, so that should be compact like a hammer.
Right.
Uh, I think that's another way that you can develop that alignment is when you are doing the push-ups. Could you see your hands? Could you see the knuckles of your hands on the ground?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay,
I didn't look.
okay. So that's one way that you can see. Okay, is it aligned or not? Okay, at least
Hmm.
in a way. So that I think that can help.
Yeah.
Um, how about your physical training? Are you being able to make the workouts in the morning?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, I don't have a lot of time. I need to like work out a game plan
Mm.
to be able to train at home. I think, well, now it's getting warmer, so I think I'll start running again because usually I run
Right.
outside. But maybe I'll incorporate something in addition to that.
So do you have the 6 weeks physical plan?
Yeah, I have the plan. I just haven't really had time to like make a routine for myself.
Okay. Okay. What help do you need? Do you need someone from the team to call you at a specific time that we set up an alarm? We can do that. That's part of what we do.
Um, I think I think over the weekend, maybe I'll take some time to just like plan out the week
That's a good
and
idea.
make a game plan for myself.
Okay, okay. And the reason is this, Maria. The routines in the physical plan, they kind of prepare your body for the practice, and they
Mhm.
help you build habits of strength. To be fair, that's what it does. So um, I do have a couple of videos. That is, I have those workouts already videotaped.
Mhm.
Or
Oh, okay, that's perfect because I actually like doing video workouts when I'm at home.
do you? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna find a way in here to say this, like, zero excuses, zero excuses.
Yeah, because I like turning on YouTube and just following along what they're doing.
Exactly. So it's a follow along. Exactly, Maria. It's a follow along, and I've got them. I've got, I think, got the first one, the second one, and the third one recorded. But I'll send you those links so that you can go on YouTube and, like, oh, here we go, workout number one.
Okay,
Boom.
perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Do you think that helps, Maria?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, what about the food? Did you look into the food? Not yet.
Honestly, not really.
Okay. So the
Um,
only adaptation that I'll do in there, because you need more, you need to increase your mass, is that specific diet is more focused on low carbs and taking away fat, or taking away, yeah, taking away a lot of the mass. But um, I'm gonna send you an update on that. So because you got these long arms and big shoulders, so we need to. My view is that if you go into something that takes away a lot of carbohydrates, it will not help. Um,
yeah.
what is it that you currently do, Marie, in terms of nutrition plan? What kind
Um,
of plan you have, or you just like you eat the best that you can?
I right now I just pretty much I try to eat balanced diet. I try to eat a mix of like meat, grains, vegetables. I don't really have a specific plan, but I just try to do the best that I can.
Right, right. No, no, of course, that sounds great. Now, when I send you the plan, this is pretty straightforward in terms of the food. It should work for your lifestyle. So I mean, that's the most important thing. Do you cook at home or you don't, or what's your routine?
Sometimes, like a couple times a week.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
Other
So
times I order, but
I think ordering is good. If
I can
cooking,
adapt.
yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. Um, I'll send you an adaptation of the slow carb diet. It's not going to be slow carbs. It's going to be more focused on giving you energy and allowing you as you train twice a week, and then you put the physical training as well. That allows you essentially to recover, Maria. That's
Mhm.
really important, and that you grow strength. Those are your objectives. So it stays on me two things: sending you the videos so that you can follow along, and also sending you a revised version of the slow carb diet so that you can bulk up more.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Um, but overall, how have you been feeling? You guys have a great group. You and a couple of girls in there, and start. You worked really well with David. You guys pulled up that when you work. You remember when you were training on your left side, you worked on the right side to go into the knife, and then you work on the left. And that thing was like neat.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, he helps me too because he has more experience. He
okay,
was helping me. He was like giving me some tips too.
okay, okay. And so, do you feel better with your left and right side now, or is it like, is it
Mm,
still? Mm,
I think I still feel better with my right in general,
okay,
but it depends on what we're doing.
okay, right, right. Um, so this will be your next week will be your third week, right? Is that, or am I wrong?
Uh, I think
No,
maybe fourth already.
fourth week. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So fourth week. So next week, you will be at least I'll be taking everyone to start training with how to defend when you fall to the ground.
Hmm.
Um, so
And
it's
we'll
a
be
bit
going
more.
outside, you think?
We'll be
Hopefully.
going outside for the physicality, okay, for most of the physical training, and then we'll be coming inside for things that when you fall down to the ground.
Hmm.
Um, so just for you to prepare mentally, like, oh, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so be again. This means that we'll be training on. Okay, what if you fall down and someone is on top of you? What do you do in that situation? So we're gonna work on one particular escape method that is called trap and roll. You
Hmm.
learn it. It's like it's a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox to help you
Hmm.
in case that these type of things happen. So just be aware. In terms of going outside, bring an extra pair of sneakers.
Sneakers. Okay.
That I think that will be enough.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good.
what
I
more
think
do
I
I?
think outside is gonna be fun.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. On your side, it stays one thing that is to come to the class on Sunday. Okay,
I'll do
and
my
then
best.
I think I like what you said. That is, you were saying that you're gonna on the weekend you're gonna come up with a game plan. Is that right?
Yes, that is the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Can you send me your game plan, please, when you have it done?
Yes, I'll send you. You're keeping me accountable. I like that.
Uh, well, I was saying this in a very, but yes. Can you send your game plan so that I can help on okay, do this workout in here or do certain things in here. I think that
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe on the days that I'm not able to come to class, I'll train on my own.
okay. And in terms of in terms of training body, I'm gonna ask David so that he can help you a bit more. David and Bettina, okay? In terms of,
Sure.
hey, let's go to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, I think that's gonna help, because if David is not there, Bettina will be there,
Yeah.
and then you can have that moving along. Okay,
Mhm.
so one more class this week. Send me your training plan so that we can organize things, and we'll have a training. We'll have a training buddy to help you in the next weeks.
All right, I'll do my best.
Okay, fantastic. So, okay, with that said, I'm gonna jump in here into the presentation mode. I think you can already see that presenting
Actually,
flow.
Gonzalo, is there any way you can send me these slides?
Oh yeah, I'll send the presentation, of course. No worries. You if you have to leave, feel free. We'll have the whole presentation. There are a set of other
Yeah,
good.
sorry. I'm on my break, so I can't really stay long.
Absolutely. Go ahead. The objective was most of all to understand what's happening on your side, go to the number of reps, and then make the changes.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Later.
And yeah, definitely send me this because I want to read this and I want to share with my family.
Yes. Okay. See you later. Thanks. Thank you so
All right.
much. Thanks.
Thanks so much. See you later.
Okay. So today's topic, and I hope you can see the screen, is about preventing falls, saving lives, and how Krav Maga can help. And I particularly chose Krav Maga, not only because I do Krav Maga, I teach Krav Maga, but also because I think it relates immensely to the idea of prevention and self-defense. Okay, that is at the core of what Krav Maga is. There is this shocking statistic that is every 11.8 minutes another person dies from a fall in the US, and it's preventable. I mean, it's terribly preventable. The fact that people die because of a thing that is preventable and we know what it is, it's just it's like it shouldn't be happening anytime. But I'm probably preaching to the choir, because many of you might say, oh, I already know that, I've already seen it. Yes, I know, but what are you doing about it? Most likely not for you, but most likely to anyone that you know, and in particular more than 65 years old. It also happens in others, but more than 65 years old, it's a leading cause of accidental injury for Americans 65 plus. I did went to fact check myself. What about that in this world that we have? I think it's important to maintain coherence. And I had this claim done 2 years ago. 3 years ago, that every 5 minutes another person dies from a fall in the US. It's not true. That is in 2022, and we don't have the data yet for we don't have. At least I don't have. Okay. Everything that I collected with chat GPTs and my own research shows that we only had really good data from 2022. And they report back. So we are in 2025. I think next year it should become a report for this year or 2024. But it's not every 5 minutes that people die. It's every 12 minutes. And this is 44,630 unintentional deaths. Okay. And I think that is just a lot. Hello, who's out there, and it's welcome. You don't need to identify yourself. If you wanna listen to the presentation and learn more about how to avoid falls, it's all good. Okay. But if you are one of our students and you are coming for the check-in, then we need to pause in here. Nevertheless, so just text along. Let me see if we got messages over here. Okay, cool. Now, important things in there. It's a lot of people, and I'm gonna go back one slide. It's every 11.8 minutes. I send in a text message to everyone like every 12 minutes. So yeah, one American dies. That's 122 people per day that die from preventable cause. And these are false. Okay, terrible use of the F word. Now, this was I did retrieve this at this data yesterday just to confirm that this was correct. And this is still like a terrible and a public and critical health concern, although we don't see it in the news. We are probably most prone to see the latest tariff cuts, rises, cuts, whatever, than effectively preventing deaths. I did a study in 2021, and at that day I was like, how is this possible, man? How is it possible that falls were killing falls, direct falls? I mean, someone like boom, like this or back or sides, we can see the code. We think there is a possibility to see the code where the injury was. It is in the frontal or on the side, but these are direct falls. And then there are thousands of people that are hospitalized. So these were 7 deaths per hour. Now this is the projection for 2030. But then when we compare this to 2024, things are not getting better. Things are not getting better. More than 50 billion in medical costs and project nearly 100,000 false deaths by the year 2030. So if we are seeing the thing increase, and it's likely why, because the US population is getting older, and it's probably not getting older with the best patterns or habits that allow for a good life, a strong life, a mobile life. This is kind of where we are. Okay, this is 2021. 2022 there is data. This is more projected. If you look into 2025 and 2020, of course, the graph, it's 5 years from the purple to the yellow, but it's still something that you see it coming. And if you see it coming and you're not doing anything about it, it's not good. That's it. That gives you more of a graphical idea of what it is. And I know and I like this idea because what could this show? Although we need to 2023, this doesn't look like to be going out in a linear trajectory. See what I mean? So it appears to going up in an exponential one. What makes me think that there are more causes behind. It could also be that the data is wrong, but I did check it, and that's how the curve looks like. So it's suddenly we move from having a lot of people to a lot more. So that's a big change. So hard facts: 1 in 4 adults, 65 plus falls each year. That's what's been happening. So guys, it's so important that this stops, or at least we can prevent that. 3 million of ER visits. That's unbelievable, right? Because of falls, 800,000 hospitalizations annually. That's coming from the Mayo Clinic. Now it comes one of the another problem in here. And then we'll see the distinction between what's someone dying from a fall and what do hip fractures do. 90% of hip fractures are caused by falls. So essentially, like you fall and then you break your hip, and that leads to deaths. Just to be clear. Hip fracture mortality rate 21% within 1 year. That's like terrible, right? When you see the numbers, it will be even more. And then you've got another level, and I want to distinguish that. Direct falls, 44,630. That's it. Okay, really good data from the CDC. Indirect, hip fracture complications, infections, and then cardiovascular decline. Why? Because you stop walking, and the hip fracture puts it tied up into a bed. You cannot move. You stay in there and people come in. Of course, they can do passive work, passive PT, or go passive physical training, but it's not the same thing because your heart. Well, in fact, your heart rate could go up, but you need to put all of your system working, all of your systems. So this is a very tricky problem because if you break your hip, the mobility immediately has to be diminished. If you don't have the habits of being physically active, that can become most likely a direct problem for health and potentially killing you. And here's the terrible chart. So in here on the left, okay, this is the number. Think about the whole number of deaths. Okay, and this in 2022, this 33% is, as you guys seen, 44,000. That's a lot, right? But then there is the other huge amount of deaths coming because of the hip fracture. And these are indirect, okay? Think about it, indirect, most likely because of hip fracture related, and that could lead into other complications. It could be you break the hip, you have to stay. You break the hip, there is a cardiorespiratory problem that comes in. You break the hip, you cannot move. Other things come in. So this one, the blue line, the blue thing just says, the moment you get into an hospital bed, into a bed, you are most, let's say, I'm going to say, very likely to die. And these are the sources that you can pick up. I did went to them through them this week, to be fair. But it's still really cumbersome. Cumbersome meaning big numbers, big problem. But so who is affected? Older adults, those with balance and muscle issues, and essentially, post-surgery individuals. What does happen? The fall leads to injuries, hospitalizations, and fatalities. Some can be just fall and fatality, or fall, injury, hospitalization, and then fatality. So think about that way. Where does it happen? Homes, stairs, sidewalks, and slippery surfaces. We live in New Jersey. Yes, it's like today's weather. The weather is pretty good, but when ice comes in, like whoop, you're done. Like there are falls everywhere. People do talk about that. Of course, when year round, but there are peaks in the winter, mostly because of this appearance of ice. But mostly important, why? We have frail people at the age of 65. I'm not saying you are a frail person. I'm saying that overall, we have frail people with weak muscles, slow reaction time, and specifically no fall training. I'm going to say that the reason why I know there is no fall training, it's because unless you train martial arts, unless you still have or still had around your 40s or 50s some kind of work that was more physical, we are, chair down, I think that's probably the right expression. Therefore, you have not worked anything regarding falls. First thing that you do, most likely, if you even have the reaction time, is to put your hand. But that will even be good, because worst case, you break your wrist, okay, or your elbow, or worst case, shoulder. But so we have this weakness of muscles, a slow reaction time, and no fall training, no falls training. How? This is more about how do we solve the problem, okay? We do need to improve strength training. In this case, just exist. That would be nice. Improve recoveries, improve reflexes, and of course, make sure there are specific fall recovery, fall before the fall, during the fall, and after the fall drills. And we should break them down, okay? Because one of them, if you have like good, strong legs, and you should be able, I say, when you feel that you're sleeping, that you could stack down and, okay, I can hold that. Not everyone can do that. Improve reflexes just help on this. Why? Because you can grab something, right? But if you are slow, if you've not been working, your hands will go slower there. And fall recovery deals, bring your head down, understand how you fall, protect yourself. Those things need to be practiced. Now it comes that I hope you guys can see the screen. It's an abstract from Leonardo Barbosa Barreto Brito, a series of investigators, and they have a very interesting research paper that essentially talks about the following. Musculoskeletal fitness as assessed by SRT, that's a test that we'll see in here. The score covered 21% improvement in survival. Oh, here we go. So essentially, there's the SRT, or as assessed, this test is a significant predictor of mortality in I think it's 51 to 80 years old subjects. So the application of this test just allows you to understand, am I going to die from a fall? And if so, how does that happen? And they will later explain, or you can later explain and see this, that the ability to sit and rise from the floor is a predictor of all-cause mortality. Because it also happens that when you fall, some older adults or people that fall are unable to get up because they hit with their head. They don't have the internal mechanics. They don't they've, of course, if you get knocked out, you get knocked out. That's equal to everyone. But with adults, older adults, we hear these things. I was unable to get up because I couldn't, or I didn't know what to do. So I think that's really an important thing. That is, you need to train the before, the during, and the after. Okay? The test is this one: is a sit rising test, SRT, and without worrying about the speed of movement, try to sit and then rise from the floor using the minimum support that you believe is needed. In this case, this is obviously not a martial arts get up. Okay, it's not the technical get up, but it's a get up. It's a way to get up, and that is not the prescription. But that's the idea. So start in a non-slippery flat surface, minimum space of 2 by 2. This is in meters, okay? You are barefooted, so no shoes in there so that you see how you can, this, no restricting clothing. Probably this should be enough. And okay, so how do we score these things? You start having 10 points. And then from 10 points, I'll give an example. You put your hand on the floor, whoop, take away a point. You put your knee on the floor, whoop, take away another point. One hand on the one knee, one hand on the thigh, 1 point. Side of the leg, 1 point. So think about this. You put your hands on the floor, you put any other contact surface besides what you already have, and whoop, here we go. You're off, okay? So I think it's really, really cool. Loss of balance in there, they've got it at 0.5 minus. I wouldn't take it off, but unless if you would put the support. But it's a great way for you to test, okay, where am I? What you want to look into in this case, Kaplan and Myers, they think we survive better. To be fair, the more points we have, that's the very direct relationship. But if you are unable to sit or stand, then look, you're going in the wrong track, man. You are not getting even ready. Okay? Anything that is like below 8, 2.5-fold higher death rates over 6 years in people age 51 to 80. Because when they run the test at that population, they were within that score. So your objective for your family or for your martial arts practice is go into the SRT and see how you can get up. Okay, that gives you where you are. Just think that 1 point increase in the SRT score, 21% reduction in mortality. That's a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine that you start with putting your 2 hands on the ground and one knee. That's like 10 minus 1, 2, 3. You start with a 7, or even start with a 6, and then over time, as you work and you are training, oh, great! Now I can get up just with my hands. That would be phenomenal, right? Like an A-frame. Or you get up without using any extra support. You just push your feet and go up. Okay, so that's an important thing. Now let's see about a specific solution from Krav Maga. Okay, and then we have to bring science to help us out. Strength and explosive power training for weak muscles. We do need both. Okay, you need that strength, that ongoing strength, and you also need explosive power. Why? Because if you are falling, you don't fall slow. Okay, gravity is there, the acceleration is there. So since we have most likely to put a hand, or sorry, I had the leg or your hand to the side, and like I'm gonna stop this fall, and that need to be strong and explosive. Reflex drills and quick response training for reaction time. That's what mostly we do in Krav Maga. That's a very specific thing for Krav Maga. If you do mixed martial arts as well, if you do karate as well, you have a target, you strike, or you have someone changing, you go there. Or if you are doing wrestling, someone changes the position, you go after. I'm going to say for potentially BJJ as well, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or any modality that has to do it on the ground. You do need to have reflex drills in there, but the eye-to-hand coordination, that I think it's for the fall could be important, but more about the the understanding that I'm losing my center of gravity, I'm losing my balance. If I'm losing my balance, you need to act fast with your legs. Okay, if you are not acting fast with your legs, you act fast with your hands to grab an object. Now, what I've also seen is across the board with many of our participants, as you build confidence, because you do the drills, you do the techniques, as you build competence, that's the right way to build this up. You become more confident. Okay. And as you become more confident, there is like this progressive exposure to the task, and you reduce fear. That happens for the overall Krav Maga approach, but that happens also in specific to, oh, this is a fall. I've done one of these. See what I mean? I fall to the right or I fall to the left, and just works. Okay. I think that's I I don't have, except empirical or anecdotal data. I have that. I see that happening on and on and on. In the falls, it's very clear. You start by being like, I don't want to fall, to I'm gonna resist my partner falling, to I'm okay, I know how to fall, and then okay, I'm falling. What do I do next? Because he or she is coming after me, either to punch me, grab you, and then you start thinking before, during, and after the fall. So that's something very, very particular to when you work from the top position where you are standing one-on-one to, I'm going to say, in the clinch to the ground and then from the ground up. That's very specific to Krav Maga. So Krav Maga can help on that. Or it does help, not can, it does help. Fall recovery and muscle activation drills to improve getting up. Look, this is so important. That is, how do you get up? What is the pattern? You can do technical get up, offensive get up, side get up, left and right. You can do a rollback. There's a whole set of things, but the program itself has those. Okay, I'm falling. Do I put my hands forward? Do I turn the hand to the left or to the right? First of all, turn it to one of the sides. Okay, that will be important. So we can do that. Krav Maga does help on each one of these segments. And in 2021, I created a program, and we run a set of seniors into the program. But now I did change it because I didn't have as much focus on grip training as we have now. We'll see folks at the class grabbing. We have grabbing things. We have a rope, something to make rope climbing, and I think that's fundamental these days to make sure you are able. In terms of fighting, of course, if you grab someone's wrist, that's a good thing. Well, could say a neck, but but grabbing a wrist or grabbing a bicep or yourself grabbing onto something to avoid falls, phenomenal. Okay, and then you'll have safe falling and recovery basics, side falls, and rolling strategies. Rolling is when your center of mass keeps moving forward. Just we'll do forward roll and back roll. That's the key one. And then week 4, reaction training, explosive strength. And the thing is that explosive strength appears roughly at the middle. And the reason is this: you guys need to be prepared, okay, to do that. At week 5, we do dynamic falls. Dynamic falls means someone pushes you, okay, or you are running instead of you stay here and you perform the movement, the fall movement. Real life applications usually jump over an object, and from an object, what you do is, okay, I jump over an object. If I'm falling forward, what should I do? Real life scenarios and fighting back. The real life scenarios, you guys know that this is a Krav Maga thing, right? So think about someone running after you, you get pushed, you roll over, you get up, and you are able to strike back. So that's a very potential thing. And in fact, the session is going that direction. Okay, I want to give you something that you can take from here. I know that some of you are here looking at we can have the accountability session, but I want you guys to take the 3 minutes daily fall proofing routine. And it's simple. You do 1 minute balance drill that is stand on one foot and progress with the eyes closed. And it's pretty. It's you put one foot on the ground, and if you don't have balance yet, just leave one hand to the side and balance left and right. If you close your eyes, there will be a different sense of balance, but you should stay in there for 1 minute, okay? Hold in there. I like to change my arms. What I'm doing is like one of my legs is out of the ground, okay? And so you put the balance on one foot, and then you move your, from the balance on one foot, you move to the other one so that you can feel the difference in the changes of the center of mass. Just think about that for a minute, okay? 1 minute one side, or 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds to other. 1 minute grip and wrist strength, like guys, grab anything, okay? Can grab, squeeze something, squeeze for me, squeeze. We have a ball in one of these, rubber balls, squeeze that, the stress ball, and of course, really important, wrist. You can do push-ups with that, or you can just flex for a minute, okay? Flex and push in each direction. And then 1 minute of get-up practice, lie down and stand up without using hands, and that comes back to the test. So I think that's like a phenomenal thing to do, and that can help you moving ahead. So a couple of resources. The Center for Disease Control has a whole page of the fall prevention resources overview, educational materials, intervention programs. It's a wealth of things, okay? And you can access there at your own, and work with that. I worked in the UK, so the NHS, National Health Institutes of the UK has a fall prevention guidance, an overall, again, practical advice on fall and risk reduction, how to change your home in order if you fall, what's going to happen, or how to get up and having things around you to help. And there is the National Council on Aging that also has prevention programs. So that's a plethora of information that you can access on your own. We also have ours, that is, we have an online course to help you prevent how to fall. This is a 6-week tailored Krav Maga fall prevention program that is essentially it's designed to enhance your balance, your strength, and your confidence, but by doing proper repetitions. You can enroll in here. We're at the promotional price of $275, I believe, from $500. Have the QR code in there. Take that at your time. It's online, but it does provide a step-by-step approach and structure so that you can follow your progression. And that at the end, the results have been staggering, and people have been, well, they have not been falling. And that's the result of everything that we want. So takeaways, important, false. This is the number one cause of accidental deaths for older adults. 122 people die daily. That's a lot, something that you can stop. That means one person every 12 minutes. The financial burden exceeds 50 billions. And that's like, I don't know, of course, money is money, but there is more than that, right? Now, grip strength and explosive power do reduce the fall risk. Hip fractures increase tremendously the mortality, so 21% die in a year. You get the hip fracture, like, oh, something is not good, right? Krav Maga fall recovery drills do improve reaction time. That's one of the key things. Zone 2 and type Zone 2 fiber training boosts longevity. Zone 2, it's aerobic, okay? Aerobic work, walks, runs. And type 2 is being fast. So these are two different things. But they both boost longevity and will help you not fall. Confidence training increases mobility, confidence through those repetitions that we just talked about, and obstacle navigation and dynamic balance are crucial. That's why in the course we push people around, they move in, they have interactions with jumps, with boxes, so that you know how to do things. And then the third, the 3 minutes daily exercises may significantly reduce risks, but you have to do them, and you might even do 6 minutes. Okay, that's always better. So I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, it keeps on being alarming to me, and we'll be back here next week with another self-defense practice that you can start on your own, because our objective is to give you the capability to save lives. If you have any questions, both on the slide deck or on the way to improve your capability not to fall, reach me out. We are here to help. Enjoy.